Ivy Valentine subscribes to Mark Yoon, so should you. Enjoy your treat!
So it's no secret that I'm a huge Naruto fan. The first Naruto game that I actually played and purchased myself was Ultimate Ninja 2 on the PlayStation 2. I then actually went back and played some of the older ones after that. Just the game itself made me fall in love with the series and actually wanted me to start watching the anime. I happened to just be in GameStop that day with my brother. We were looking for a new fighting game to try out, and we saw Ultimate Ninja 2, decided to pick it up, and the rest is history. I have since gotten every single Naruto game on release date, pre-ordered, and I just love the series. Ultimate Ninja Storm really changed the game with me when it comes to storytelling and gameplay with the Naruto series in general. My love for the series has never really dimmed down, so I jumped at the chance when I knew the Connections was coming out. I've made prior videos on it before, and a lot of people were expecting this to be like a Storm 5 kind of situation. And I said it's a side game, so it should be compared more to Generations and Revolution as opposed to the numbered entries, because they usually are just a test bed for upcoming things that they want to actually put in their numbered entries, and sometimes they keep stuff in, sometimes they don't. For example, character customization was in Revolution and introduced then, and then when Storm 4 came out, it actually didn't have customization, and we don't know why, but seemingly it was a test bed for that. Connections, for all intents and purposes, somewhat satisfied me, and there is a lot of glaring issues with it that made me second guess that, and I kind of had to turn off my brain a lot, and I wanted to just actually get into that. I wouldn't exactly say it's disappointing. I still like the game. There's a lot of new updated mechanics in the game that make the fighting way better. It's a lot smoother of an experience, but there were issues, and I want to talk about those things first. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the story modes. There is history mode, and then there is also special story mode, and both of those are kind of lackluster. I did enjoy the story in special story mode. It felt more like one of those like non-canon Naruto movies than anything, and I appreciated that. There's movies really need to be put into the Storm game. I know there's different licensing involved for the actual movies than there is for the anime itself, like the serialization, but this could really add a lot of characters and stuff to these games if we had, and sometimes there are like certain ones, like for example, like Tonari is in the game, but he's not playable. He's just like there as like a guide for Naruto in this certain like time space like room, and but he's not a playable character, which is odd. There are 5 DLC sets that are releasing, so possibly he's going to be in one of them, I'm not sure. But it would be a welcome change, especially because I've been screaming at the rooftops for like Menma to be in the game for like forever. And while we did have and do have Road to Ninja costumes, we don't have any of the actual characters that are like exclusive to that. Same with all the other movies, which is a shame because some of them are really good. I would also like some of the filler people to come, because some of the filler is actually pretty good. So the fact that it's not included also a little disappointing. Mainly due to muscle memory and just like really knowing the outlook. One of the better functions in this game is that everybody has like a jumping jutsu, an air jutsu, and they also replaced the energy, the chakra kunai, or the square move or the left button move. They replaced that. Instead of the energy one, you actually get a second jutsu. So everybody in the game has like 2 actual jutsus besides their air jutsu, which is a welcome thing, because some characters can feel a little boring when it was just the one and you have like the energy kunai or whatever. All in all, like I actually really like that gameplay mechanic, and everyone moves, it feels like a bit faster or smoother in this. It's not as clunky. Sometimes pulling off a grab or a throw is a little annoying and daunting because infinites are back in this game. But overall, I feel like the only thing that like I've noticed that's a little bit more annoying about this gameplay is when you're actually playing against the computer, they chakra dash like all the time. Like their main kit is pretty much like running away and like getting out of the way, so like you can't just like run forward and away from them and they'll follow you like an idiot, and then like you just do like a super on them. That's like how it used to work. But this is a little bit different and requires you to think on the fly a little bit more, which I do like. Story mode being a disappointment, history mode, it's not just about the actual presentation. I've heard a lot of talk about the overall presentation. It's pretty much like you have a mixture of, there's some like slideshow type things that you have to read that aren't voiced, and then there's also boxes which actually have the actual fight in them, and those are voiced with like artwork that goes alongside and coincides with that, but there's nothing animated about it at all. There's no cinematics. And in special story mode, you can actually tell that they were trying to go for an open world. There's a lot of things that characters say and a lot of things going on in the background that makes it seem like that was supposed to be open world and explorable, at least Konoha. And the fact that that's not here is a little disappointing, but the story overall I think was okay. Again, I'm not comparing this to the mainline games, but for example, in Revolutions, we had an open world, and you had that island that you could explore, and you can bring your custom ninja there with your customization and like run around and do stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. You can also meet up with people there, and it seems that this is not the case here, because I know they said they're going to do an update for it, but as of right now, there's no way to invite friends in the online matches. It's pretty much just a randomizer. So I hope they do bring that back, and I want actual lobbies to do like different types of fights, not just tournament style. So, but we'll see where that goes with there. They are going to support this game with post-launch with DLC, so hopefully we get some kind of patches that actually improve that end of it. I also think the netcode is serviceable, but it's still as good as the other games pretty much, and when there's a lot more people online, it's going to cause issues. There's also no Japanese servers. It's only America and EU, which is odd. That might have to do with the fact that Japanese people prefer to not play on console and use a lot of handheld or phone mobile game type stuff, but I don't understand why that would be like an issue for them, because especially like South Korea like plays a lot of PC and stuff like that, so you would think that like they would have servers in Southeast Asia at least, but maybe that's something they're also working on, I don't know. But if you get matched up with people, a lot of the times it's going to be really bad experience if they're on Wi-Fi and they're not Ethernet connected. We're going to be seeing a lot of that now that the PlayStation Portal is out, and they're basically streaming stuff. If your console is not hardwired and they're also streaming it from their PlayStation Portal, I'm just scoffing at the idea of what that's going to turn into and look like. I'm not really looking forward to that at all. These games, though, I tend to not be too competitive and play online a lot. I tend to just play with friends, so and members of the channel. So that's not really like that big of a deal to me personally, but I know other people really want those kind of online features. The presentation in this game is really lacking. It's nice that we have extra characters, but it's like they added some of the kata and like Jigen and stuff like that, and like none of those characters, Kawaki, none of them show up in the story mode in either stories. History mode is told from Naruto and Sasuke's perspective. The only fight I believe that's outside of that is Jiraiya versus Pain, Tendo Pain. And that's the only time you play as a character that's pretty much not Naruto or Sasuke. The rest of the presentation aside for that is just like a bland experience. I ended up skipping through most of it, and it only covers the beginning of Naruto and goes up to Shippuden, and there's a lot that they leave out. Each chapter, there's 8 chapters in total, maybe takes you about like 30 minutes, maybe. And that's if you're actually watching all the cutscenes, and then actually like take, because the matches are pretty quick. They don't really take long at all. But beyond that, the other modes are a little lackluster too. Finding how to customize your character can be a little bit weird. You either have to do it in the online section, or you can also do it in collection, but it's like a list when you're all the way down to the bottom, so it might be a little hard for people to find that. But you can unlock a lot of the stuff from actually playing the special story mode and the history mode. It's not like you have to like purchase these things. A lot of them you just unlock, so that's actually good. But I like the selection of characters that are in here, and I just feel like the kata members and like Kawaki and Jigen and stuff were all added to be like there for Storm 5. Like, it seems like more of a setup for Storm 5 than a standalone game. I agree with people that it does almost feel like a DLC type thing for Storm 4, which I don't know whether you would take that as a good thing or a bad thing, but for a premium priced product, I can see why some people are upset with it, even though I'm fairly satisfied. And other than those 2 modes, like, you're pretty much done. There's not really much to do. There's no collectibles because there is no open world, so you're not running around. It's pretty similar to Generations in that point. But the reason that I liked Generations, and that was so special, is they had specifically animated cutscenes that were done just for the game. So at least there's like a reason to own that game. But I feel like this game will be completely outdated when Storm 5 actually eventually does release. It's not like something that there's something special to it, unless you're including the special story mode, because there's 2 characters that are new in that game, neither of which are playable, even though you fight against them. So I don't really know how much replay value this is going to have once Storm 5 actually releases. I do like it, but like I said, I'm biased and I'm a Naruto fan, so I'm going to like a Naruto product. Like, I didn't want to play Shinobi Striker at first, and then I got into it. So I'm very well aware of my own biases when it comes to that. That's why I'm trying to be as hard on the game as possible and critical, because I myself don't really care a lot about some of this stuff, but I know a lot of people, it will inform their decision whether they actually want to purchase the product or not. It's wild to me also that some of the pre-order bonuses included skins for Naruto Shinobi Striker. It had a lot of mixed marketing with it, where it looked like there was actually created characters in this game, which there's not, but that's actually just for Shinobi Strikers, because you can create your character in that game. Most of the assets are still back. They're up-resed, but some of the stuff is not up-resed. There's some cinemas that like look really bad because it looks like they're just like 720p and they're like not even upscaled. What the rest of it is. There's some pictures that are like choppy and looks like that they just blew it up. I don't understand that. I did have a glitch in history mode where the pictures that they were showing you to go alongside the story had a diagonal line through them, and I don't know what that was. Maybe people aren't even playing history mode, so I don't understand like why that's even a thing. I would like another mode in this game, at least to keep you company. Like, it would might be nice to have like endless battles back or something like that, or even some kind of offline tournament mode. I definitely will say that this isn't my favorite Naruto Ultimate Ninja game. I think that goes to Revolution. I really like Revolution a lot for the uniqueness that it did, but when it comes down to it, like, you can skip this game. You really don't have to buy it, unless you have FOMO and you just like need the new characters that they're adding. It is cool to have like some of the Kata members, because like I haven't even gotten to that part of Boruto yet, so it's nice that I actually have that. Indra and Ashura being playable is nice. They added around like 10 new characters, so I think that's pretty cool. It does have the largest roster. The only characters that did not come back are obviously the guest characters like Lars, and you don't have Naruto with like Goku's gi, because that was obviously a one-time licensed crossover. I believe for Storm 2, might have been 3. But everyone else is here. You get alternate colors for them, and now you can customize everybody. Some of the colors are negligible and some of them are boring, but otherwise it's really nice to have customization back. It's pretty much the exact same customization as Revolution was, by the way, so don't expect any new surprises here. There's more items, but it's not much more. It feels pretty underwhelming, and like you just apply like one thing to each section of the body like before, and customize your end card and whatnot. So it's really hard to get people to get excited for this game, while I would probably rate it like a 6 out of 10, just because like I'm such a huge Naruto fan. I believe if I wasn't and I just wanted to play an anime arena fighter, it'd probably be a 5. Like, it's just like a middle of the road playable game. That's about it. It does make me want to experience the story in different ways. Luckily, I have all of the Storm games and all the Ultimate Ninja games on PS2, so including in Storm 5, which was exclusive to Japan, but I have a modded PS2, so I can play that. I really can't recommend it, because I really think that like a lot of the other games did it a lot better, including the other side games that have a lot of independence to them, such as Generations and Revolution, which actually did the character customization the same, but it has an open world hub where you can actually run around and do a lot of things online with friends. So like, even though I'm giving this a 6, that's like a tentative 6, and I don't believe that like it really deserves that yet, and there needs to be more content, there needs to be some patches. We need to be able to invite friends online. That's like a must. That I can't believe they launched without it. I mean, Storm 4 still doesn't have lobbies either. You can pretty much only play tournament mode, but at least you can invite friends. So hopefully that's something that CC2 does. Like I said, I know that they're just changing some things that they can prepare for Storm 5, and this was to celebrate like the 20th anniversary of the anime for Naruto, so it's a good excuse to release a game on the 20th anniversary. And there's probably license reasons there too with CC2, to have to produce a certain amount of Naruto games by a certain time period to keep the license. So I don't know. With that being said, guys, I'm going to bring this video to a close, but I want to turn this over to you in the comment section down below. Did you play or did you purchase Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections, and what is your experience with the past games and this game? I want to hear your thoughts down there, or you can come over on the Discord and you can hit us up there and talk to us there. And when they have friend invites, we can set up some matches and stuff like that. Any and all thoughts are always welcome, and as I always say, guys, I love it. Thank you.
And thank you.